I'm Asia.
I'm Christina.
And this is a space where we share real stories
From tender hearts.
and have brave conversations.
This is the Humble and Honest Podcast. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Humble and Honest Podcast. Today, we're actually talking about dating as a woman of faith. It's funny that we were talking about Love Island.
I know. We were literally talking about Love Island when we sat down.
Yeah.
And we were saying like if we liked it or not. Or if we
Not-
watched it. Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Like the memes are funny. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the memes are funny. Like Amaya Papaya or whatever her name is.
Whatever
Like those
her
are
name is.
funny.
Huda's pretty. Like,
Yeah, Huda. Is it Huda or Huda?
Huda, whatever.
She's pretty.
She's
I'll give
pretty.
her her
Yeah.
flowers. She's pretty.
Let's
Yeah,
start.
I really don't know the cast or anything.
Yeah, I don't know nobody.
Yeah.
But let's start with something light. How's your heart when it comes to love right now?
My heart when it comes to love is honestly, I feel like big and heavy. Yeah. Like I'm just a lovey girl. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like with a significant other.
Mhm.
Like with family, friends. Like I just love love.
Yeah.
Like I was driving, was it yesterday? And I was like literally thinking about love. I was like, oh, I just love love. When it comes to men, like the same thing. Like it's big.
Are you open to it?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I'm open to it, but I'm not desperate for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You never know. You never know. If I
Yeah.
say I'm open to it, they'll be like, oh, she's desperate. She needs a man.
No. Not,
What about
nothing
you,
like
sis?
that. My heart it's filled with it for sure. Like you said, with family and friends, I'm very blessed right now. Like all my family's healthy, all my friends are happy. Like what
Oh,
more can I
yeah.
ask
They're
for?
winning.
Yeah,
I love that.
As for like relationship wise, it's getting there. It's
It's
soft. It's soft for sure. It can
We
be a landing space.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at it. But like
Yeah.
you said, not desperate for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. What messages about dating did you grow up hearing in a faith space?
Whew. You know what's weird?
What?
The church I grew up with in was very like culty. So
Oh, I remember you telling me. Yeah.
yeah, like I couldn't date outside my church. So a lot of my questions were like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, like why can't I experience? Because obviously there's a way to convert somebody.
Exactly.
And what makes somebody not in our church bad? So these are the questions I was always asking because I had a scenario where I did date someone in my church and it went completely left field. And it was the first time I ever experienced like
Oh no.
SA and like things like that. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is what you guys normalize?
Yeah.
So these were
that's not
questions
good.
I had where it was like, when I started dating outside of church, I was like, why isn't my faith backing up the love life I'm supposed to have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those were the questions I had. But what messages or questions about dating did you grow up hearing?
Honestly, I don't come from like a faith like based
Perspective?
Yeah, because I didn't grow up that way. I feel like I developed it later in life, like in college. I went to a private Christian college,
Yeah.
and the whole thing was ring before spring. So what you saw was after in spring, like everybody had engagement rings, and like
Oh.
yeah,
I've never heard of that.
ring before spring.
No.
No, yeah, like everybody after spring break, people were engaged.
Huh.
And I'm like, oh dang! Like I've always had long-term relationships,
Yeah.
like 5 years, couple
and
years.
your parents are still together.
Yeah, my
They've
parents
been
are
together for a
yeah,
while.
they've been through it though. So I've seen like growing up, I've seen like relationships and like a lot of drama and like, you know, like the dark side. So I actually grew up like not knowing how a relationship's supposed to be.
Got
But
it.
I feel like in my heart, deep down, like I knew it's just like supposed to be monogamy, you know, and things like
Yeah.
that. And then seeing it in play like at Cal Baptist, like
Mhm.
seeing how everybody was in a monogamy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so that's like the faith part.
Do you feel like you've ever based your relationships off your parents' relationship since they are still together? Because my parents are still together too.
I feel like my mom did an amazing job
Yeah.
about telling me this is what I went through and this is what I don't want you to go through.
Okay.
You know, don't
Yeah.
date. I love my dad and everything, but she would say like, don't date someone like, you know, your
Yeah.
father. And or she would like, let's say if my sister's passed, she would be like, that's what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like my mom always has high standards for me and expectations. So she always gave me the right advice.
That's
so
good.
Even though I grew up like with fighting and like you
Yeah.
know like all the family drama, she's like always told me like that's not what it's supposed to be like. This
Yeah.
is what it's supposed to be like. And if I were dating somebody, she's like, Christina, it never was like break up with them, da 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 da.
Yeah.
It was like,
She let you learn your lessons
yeah,
on
that's
your own.
that's not for you. That's
Yeah.
not what's out there. So
Well, that's good. That's good, like parenting. You know,
Yeah.
like my parents, they've been together all my life. You
Mhm.
know, they got married when I was born, and I feel like their relationships super, super based on faith. Like my mom converted for my dad, and the way the church worked was like we didn't believe in divorce. You know,
Yeah.
so they also have been through the ringer, and I think it had developed problems in my relationship, like in my relationships. Because like I've said prior in a different episode, like my mom never left when she should, even if it was for a break,
Yeah.
you know. And my mom, I would say, is the rock. And it was just like, okay, I have to be like my mom, you know, like my mom saw it through. Now they're great. Like my
Yeah.
parents are amazing. I feel like they fell back in love after
Mhm.
becoming grandparents. And to see that, it's like, okay, it could happen if you ride the waves, you know.
Yeah.
But then my mom and I love my mom and she's my best friend, but I don't think I've ever came to her about relationships.
Really?
I was always so scared because I was always dating outside my church.
Oh yeah.
And-
So you were scared of getting in trouble,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But I remember that toxic relationship I brought up prior, that was finally the point where I laid my head on my mom's lap
Mhm.
and I cried. And I was like,
Mm.
Mom, why does it hurt so much? You know, but then I have to remind myself, my mom's only really been with my dad. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
she can't really give me advice. But I mean, it is what it is. My parents are still together, and I do strive for a marriage like that.
Mhm.
And I believe that it's okay and healthy to have breaks and
Yeah.
separations. I feel like that's what
It's never gonna be easy. You know, and I
No.
feel like the hard times make the relationship stronger. And it's like if you can get through those hard times.
Yeah.
Because it feels easy and you didn't have all those trials, you know, and tribulations, temptations.
Yeah.
Like, and everything was butterfly and rainbows. I feel like, is that really love?
Right. Because if
know?
your love can't be tested, is it strong?
Yeah, is it strong?
Yeah. But
So-
when did you first start navigating dating through the lens of your faith? Like, when did you say, okay, I want a man of God?
My toxic relationship. So I used to live with somebody, was all in love, you
Oh,
know.
Yeah.
He suffered from bipolar depression disorder,
Got it.
suicidal thoughts, all that. It was so dark that I started getting those thoughts too, and I actually hit rock bottom as well. Every day I would wake up scared
Oh,
because we lived together. It was like, what mood is he gonna be in today?
yeah.
You know, fights would get so bad that my puppy would go crawl in the
Oh.
closet and be shaking
So
and
even
shivering.
the dog knew
Yeah,
it wasn't a healthy environment.
Yeah, and like he's thrown the dog before. Yeah, he threw it before. And like a lot of times it would just be like one sided. I would just be sitting there and like he'd just be yelling, and in my head it was just like dark, dark, dark. And I found myself like just like at rock bottom, just lost and everything, with dark cloud over me. Like I'm so bubbly and bright, and
Right.
people saw it. They're like, "What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, like you're not pleasant to be around anymore."
Yeah.
And they would tell me all these things, and then I was like, my boxing coach had took me to church. I was on break from that relationship with that guy. He would always kick me out like every 5 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
I would load my shit up in trash bags
and then be right back.
be like, Mom, I'm back. It's me
Piece by
again.
piece.
It's me again. But then like I would move back in, and then last time I was like, no, I'm on the lease. Like there's no kicking me out this time.
Yeah.
But,
Especially if you're paying rent. What the heck?
yeah. And then so anyways, my boxing coach took me to church.
Mhm.
And that void I had and that darkness I had it felt like, oh, there's a little light in here now, you know? And then
yeah.
they would talk about relationships. And then one of the circumstances, because he would always try to get me back, obviously. One of the circumstances was like, you need to go to church with me. You know?
That was your standard for him.
Yeah. Like you
Good
need to
for
go
you.
to church with me.
Yeah.
So then we started going to church. Things started getting better. I would like sit on his lap, like when we're like about to go to sleep, and we would read Bible verses
Oh,
and
that's
study.
good.
Yeah. We actually spoke in tongues together.
That's dope.
So that's when I was like, okay, like, oh, and then we did a couples Bible study together.
Oh,
so that's,
see, that's yeah, that's
so
good.
that's, I feel like around that time was when I started incorporating faith into my relationships and dating. What about you?
Good. I feel like since I've grown up with God in my life the whole time, it's like a part of me always wanted it, but it wasn't a complete standard, you know? But it wasn't until recently where I started growing my faith, and now I can't go a day without it, you know? And the last person I talked to, a deal breaker for me was like, I can't see you sitting at church with me.
Yeah, that's
And
really big.
yeah, and so that's when I realized, and it clicked, where I was like, no, I need a man of God. Like,
Yeah.
I know that I want someone who leads his family in the walk of God's like plan.
Yeah, or like love you, like the way
Yeah,
God
or
does.
prays over your family
Yeah,
and you and
unconditional love.
himself. And
If you can't pray with him, then
yeah, if you don't understand that I'm your missing rib,
yeah, then what?
if you don't even understand that concept, no, literally, if I say, "Oh, am I your missing rib?" and you don't even know what I'm talking about, it's kind of like, ooh,
you know, or you know, like pray for me, and like they don't even pray for you,
right?
Like, oh
they're like,
gosh.
"What do you mean?"
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, I can't. I know that it is a little bit of a struggle now that people are open to their faith, and we are all walking in different like walks of life, and some people are different religions, and that to me is like, it is a battle, because I find myself like, I really enjoy Hispanic men. That is my type, but more often than not, they're Catholic, and I'm Christian, and so it comes up as a question of, is that something you're willing to compromise one day?
Yeah.
Because I also don't want my kids to be confused.
Exactly. And I feel like it's like the same thing with me, because, you know, the Habibis love me.
Yeah.
So like they're Muslim.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like when you first start dating, it's like, okay, at least he knows of a God, you know, like, and he has
1,000%.
principles and like, you know, and things that he abides by.
Yep.
He has some discipline. But then when you start thinking about it long term, when you dig deeper, I'm not going to convert to Muslim, you know?
Yeah.
No disrespect on the religion or
all.
anything like that, but it's just like the same thing with you, like Catholic.
I know where my heart's at with my faith.
Exactly. I feel like in a lot of Hispanic households, though, it's always like Christian and Catholic. Like the mom would be Christian, dad's Catholic, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Because there's some similarities in there.
There are.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. 100%. I mean,
yeah, being Catholic is a form of Christianity, and at the end of the day, there are, like you said, similarities, but it's how deep you are in your faith. Yeah. Where I'm like, okay, I can't memorize prayers. I talk to God. You know what I'm saying? So it's a struggle where, okay, how am I raising my kids? Because we're of that age, you know. Before it's kind of like, do you even pray? Okay, you don't? Okay, whatever. Yeah. But now it's kids, and it's family, and it's your unit where what is going to be our foundation?
Yeah. And like right now I'm dating, and I'm literally looking at the man like, are you raising my children?
Yeah.
Are you fit enough to raise my children?
1,000%.
You don't pray, you don't do this. No.
Dude, I literally, remember I told you the other day, I was talking to someone and he did something, and I was like, my husband wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I would never do that.
So you're not my
husband would never.
Literally.
That's literally me. Like, when I'm talking to a guy or dating them and they do something, I'm like, my husband wouldn't do this to me.
They wouldn't. And yes, obviously men are allowed to make mistakes, but there are certain ways that you move and certain mannerisms where.
Yeah, how early on. Yeah. You know? And honestly, I've been really good at reading people these days, you know?
I think it's because we're starting to date intentionally.
Yeah.
You know?
You could see when someone has a facade on and everything.
Yeah. As for dating, in your own words, how would you define standards and expectations?
Standards, I feel like, are for myself. So like standards is like something that's more for you. And expectations would be like assumptions or like guidelines that you have for someone else. Like they lead to disappointment in my eyes. Yeah. Because I assume you're gonna text me back, right?
Okay.
You know,
so would that would be your version of an expectation?
Yeah. And then my standard is like, text me back, I'm texting you back. You know, so I know what's going on. You know, like those my standards are my principles, and those are the things that are going to happen.
Okay.
Expectations are to me are more of like something that like I assume or hope and things like that.
Yeah.
I expect you to do this. What about you?
I feel like standards are non-negotiables for me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very simple. Good morning, good night, and flowers. These are my standards.
Yeah.
My expectations is more so like I do expect a man not to let my vase run dry. So that's more of an expectation to me where, okay, are you paying attention? You know, but I am very vocal with my expectations and my standards. But like you said, I feel like expectations it's a gray area.
Yeah.
Where you like can do it, you hope for it.
I might be disappointed if you don't,
right?
But it's not a standard. As long as you're doing the standards and the expectations will come. They're gonna come.
Yeah, and like standards are like gentleman rules. Yeah. You know, like are you walking on the right side of the sidewalk? Are you opening my door? These are standards. And they will automatically give me the ick. If you don't do them, I'm like, bro, ain't no way your mama didn't raise you right.
No way. Cut the cord.
Even in this day and age.
Cut it out, you know?
Literally.
Have you ever mistaken personal preferences or cultural ideas for biblical standards?
Have I ever mistaken I mean, this is so bad, but obviously in the Bible, like, celibacy is a thing.
Yeah.
And
I'll be barking.
And I'm sorry, God. God is still working on me. But, I mean, that's probably the one thing that comes up to mind. Or I grew up, and obviously in the Bible, the man is the head of the household. And yes, my father was the head of the household, but in this day and age, I feel like a lot of women are the breadwinners. Yeah. So who's really the head of the household? Yeah,
I feel like I grew up in a household where the women are the breadwinners. Yeah. Like even like with my sisters, those girls are bosses, you know, and they're the breadwinners too. Yeah. So I feel like that's completely different from like the biblical, you know? Yeah. And then same thing with the, you know, the celibacy.
Like, I'm sorry, God.
I'm sorry, God.
I'm a healthy woman.
I swear. You know, I'm frowning right now on myself.
Honestly, there's a strong guilt behind that. And my friends from church will always be like, well, do you think God's calling you? And I'm like, girl, something else is calling me. Something else is calling me right now. I can't. It's so bad.
I've done like pretty much a year like abstinence.
Yeah. I've been abstinent before.
You know, but
for a year.
A year.
Pero like,
let me tell you, I had so many meltdowns. I was like, stop keeping
She started barking.
I took it out in the gym, let me tell you.
But
I was gymming twice a day.
You know what though? That makes it even worse. I feel like, honestly, whenever I'm in the gym, my sex drive gets high.
When I was on prep.
Oh, it's all bad.
Meowing.
Do you feel pressure? Either from church or society to date or marry a certain way?
Yeah, okay. So I can go pretty in depth on this one. Okay, so obviously with church and like my church friends, even like some coworkers, it's like you gotta date obviously sex after marriage, you know. Dating one person, taking things slow. So yeah, like in the church. But like society with like this whole love island, I'm a monogamy person. Yes. I'm very much of like, when I talk to you, I'm only talking to you. I will literally cut everybody off, go in full force. I am a victim of love bombing for that reason. I blame myself. Right. But this love island, I feel like it's pressuring everyone to have such lustful, you know, intentions when they're dating. Yeah. Like, let's date all these different people. Let's have a roster. Let's get very on the surface of dating rather than getting deep with like, you know, everyone, getting to know everyone deeply and like, and things like that. So I feel pressured in that way. Or like even like hearing friends talk about like, no shade, but like talking about like the multiple men that they, you know, they have. And I'm like, damn, like I didn't really have a whole phase. Like, should I have one?
I just admitted that yesterday.
I was like, should I have one? Like, should I have a whole phase? Like,
right.
because I never really had a whole phase.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, so I feel pressured sometimes, like when like everyone's talking about it, it's in your face. You go on TikTok, have a roster, have this, do that, meet up with this person. So yeah.
I get where you're saying, because I literally just admitted that yesterday. I asked somebody, I was like, oh, did you have your hoe phase? Because when you're dating someone, it's like, okay, did you get it out or not? Because you're not about to do it on my time. So I would like to know. It's not a way of asking a question to piss myself off. Yeah. I just would like to know. And I realized I admitted I did. And then I also admitted that it wasn't the way the society has their hoe phases. I was talking to multiple men, but I'm very particular of who I like take behind closed doors. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
I'll be bored sometimes.
No, right. But like, I feel like my view on dating and marriage are a little bit of both. I do think women should date around. I think women should go on multiple dates to figure out what they like and what they don't like.
Yeah.
But are you sleeping with all of them? No, that I disagree with.
Date them all, don't.
Right. No. And when you look at people in the church, you're like, wow, you got courted. You were intentionally dated. You were prayed over and you prayed together. I want a little bit of both where, yes, I want you to date me intentionally, but at the same time, society-wise, don't lust over me, but still be in love with me in that aspect.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I do feel as if there's no pressure. I just look at love in a combination of both. Yeah. Because obviously, like I said, I won't go celibate. I won't. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Because there's no way I'm going to marry you and then be like, dang, trash. How am I supposed to have kids, And I really want kids. And that's how kids are made. Sorry to break it to you guys.
You just became a roommate.
Literally. So I do want to be dated intentionally. And I think that's a way of dating through my faith in my church. And I do want a man of God. But I do still want the playfulness. I don't want the lustfulness, but the playfulness of like dating.
Yeah, there's a big difference on lust versus love too.
1,000%.
How do you personally discern what's a God-led conviction versus what's rooted in ego or fear?
Yikes. That's a good question.
I'm biting my finger now.
Oh, man. I'm going to cross my fingers underneath the table because I promised I wouldn't talk about this on the podcast, but I am. I went through a phase and I really liked this guy. And
I know where this is going.
And I kept telling Christina, I kept telling my best friend Sydney, my other best friend Chriselle, I used to tell them, I'm going to show him grace. I'm going to show him grace. Like maybe God put me in his life to show him grace, to show him real love,
I know that.
I need a shot.
Maybe God put me in their life for a reason.
I kept saying this, right? So me in my head,
been there.
I couldn't discern it. I was like, you know what, God put my soft heart in this man's life to make him softer. But I think when it comes to ego, I have to heal the wound of like trying to save everybody. It's not my job.
Yeah.
Right. And that's when it clicked for me where I was soft and I was showing him grace and I was kind the whole time. But at the end of the day, when it came to the end, I kind of told myself, I wanted to fix you for my own ego.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see it happen. I wanted to see your breakthrough to say, I did that.
Yeah.
So I think it was ego driven at the end of, obviously hindsight is 2020, but I could not discern with that one.
Honestly, I could relate to you so much on that one. And I feel like that's why I just watched, like I would give you advice and I would just back off.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she's going to go through what I went through. But with mine, it was like I was in a long-term relationship, and I was giving him grace for so many years.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was like, I knew I had to leave. Like that was, but my fear and my ego was like, nah, you could save him. I'm Captain, Mrs. Sava, whatever.
Yeah. No, for real.
But when I felt that conviction from God is when I was like contemplating, I was like journaling, and then that's when it was like he was like literally told me to leave.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I was listening to worship music. I was listening to Hillsong worship. My favorite thing to do is go to Laguna.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting on the rocks and I was journaling in red ink, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I didn't want to go home yet. The sun was setting. And I was like, dang, I have to go home.
Yeah.
I have to go home to him. And I was like, God, what I need to do. And then I heard a voice. I felt it in my gut. My intuition was like, you need to leave.
Wow.
And God gave women intuition for
100%.
a reason. You know, like it's real.
Yeah.
It's God, like he gave it to us. So when I acted on the intuition, it was like the best decision I ever made.
1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like going back to what I was saying, I do show grace at a timeline. And I know that sounds crazy, but I told everyone, I said, come July 1st, come my 90-day trial. When you are done with your 90 days, if it's still broken, I'm going to leave it broken.
I seen the meme was like, these men don't know that they're on a time limit. They're all
Swear.
he and they don't know they're about to get cut off in 2 weeks.
Swear. And mind you, the night before I went to go see him, the next day was July 1st. And that's why when I had admitted to you where I was going, it was kind of like I knew I was walking into it knowing if I would feel it in my gut or not.
Yeah. That intuition that God gives us.
Exactly.
God's going to tell you whether if you need to stay
and
or
I
leave.
prayed on it as I was driving over there. I'm like, okay, God, if this is for me, let me feel that. You know, let me, because I've stuck around way too long too many times.
Oh, yeah.
That's why people are on a 90-day trial.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I did that after.
Sounds crazy, but
I like dated somebody for like not even a year.
I was
love bombed. And I broke up with him at a festival because I was like, no way.
Yeah, ain't no way.
No way.
So
your trial is up.
For real. So have you ever compromised your standards in dating? If so, what did you learn from that?
My standards, yeah. I feel like sorry, I want to laugh so hard at myself.
Hindsight is 2020. We learn and we grow.
I feel like
show yourself grace.
Somebody having like, you know, ambition and stuff, because this is so embarrassing, guys. I let this man. Okay, first of all, he couldn't keep a job. I let him use my car.
Oh, you were one of those.
Yeah, I let him use my car, take my card. I waited in the car for like an hour interview for him, right? I let him use my car. He would use all my gas. And then, like, he was like my biggest hater. He was literally my biggest hater because I had like 3 jobs, you know? I'm like, I'm over here supporting you. You know? So I feel like, daddy. Yeah. And then he ended up like sliding in girls' DMs and I got a, hey, girly.
Ain't no way.
I mean, me and him are still friends now. We're cool.
Oh, yikes.
He's cool with my family and stuff.
Oh, my Lord.
But yeah, that's like the standard that I was like, that I did not keep. That provider standard. Yeah, no.
Okay.
But it's embarrassing when I think about it. I'm like, Christina, what is wrong with you?
For sure. But obviously you learn and you grow, right?
Yeah, I definitely. As soon as I see that flag, I'm like, oop, dodge it.
That's me now. So I feel like for a long time, I would never compromise flowers or consistency. I would never do it. The moment you're inconsistent, I'm like, oh, it's a dub. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Inconsistency, I could never.
But then as we get older and I get even busier and I'm consistent, I question a lot of men.
Yeah.
You can't be, honestly, I haven't met a guy who's more busy than me.
Yeah.
Other than like Johnny. Johnny has like 1,000 jobs, you know? But I'm like, okay, we can't beat that guy.
You're at the ranch. You're a lowrider. You're over here.
He's always on a different part of the city. But I compromised flowers and it dried my cup up so much.
I remember.
It's so simple and I don't want to have to ask for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, pick one off the sidewalk.
Exactly. I know you go buy groceries. They have them right there when you walk in.
I know you go to Target.
Target has them.
You go on
Target runs. Stater Brothers has them now.
Everywhere has them. You can't just get a $10 bouquet. No. I'm not even asking you to I don't want a whole ramo. Like, that's cool too. Like, I would love that. Yeah. But my birthday's coming up. But but what I'm saying is, like, I compromised it and it ran me so dry where I learned that I can't. If that's the only 3 things I ask for, why not? But yeah.
What are some non-negotiables for you in dating as a woman of faith?
God.
Oh yeah, God.
100%. Like, you don't have to know verses without a Bible in front of you. You don't have to memorize them.
But you have to have a relationship with him, or at least try to build a relationship with him. And I feel like a lot of my mindset and morals come from like the sermons that I learn from, I watch, I attend, or just like a biblical perspective on things. And I feel like if you don't have God, then you lack that. And that's like non-negotiable for me.
Yeah. At least be walking in some type of faith. And because then at the end of the day, if you walk with God, you know unconditional love. You know your duty as a man. Yeah. I feel the Bible does teach a lot to the men. Like, okay, in the Bible, you need to be a provider. Yeah. You are a protector. You love your woman the way God loves his church. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he loves one thing and one thing only. Your eyes aren't wandering. Yeah. There are multiple beautiful women in the world. Plenty of them across the whole world. But
I'm looking at one right now.
I know. You're so pretty. But that is for sure non-negotiable. And prayer.
Yeah, prayer.
Like, even if it's short. I think people have this weird standard of like, prayer has to be so long and so in depth.
Heavenly Father. Like, no. Your tears can be prayer. Like, I was telling one of my homies this. Like, when I give advice, like, I give intentional advice. Like, I go really deep, and it comes from like a biblical perspective, and it comes from my heart. Yeah. And I was telling him, like, pray. Like, I'm always gonna tell people to pray. And then and he was like, oh, I don't know how to pray. And I was like, your tears can be your prayer. God hears you. Yeah.
And I do think some people forget that God knows what you need to say before you say it. Yeah. So even if you don't have the words, God understands. And I pray a lot in the car. You don't have to be on your knees praying. Exactly. Hey, God, I know I say this thing on my Instagram story all the time. I see you, I hear you, I feel you. Yeah. It's that simple.
Or even like, just like if you're driving in the car, talk to him. Yeah. Like, tell him what's going on in your life, how you feel. And that could be a prayer too. And he's going to respond back. But it's like, are you listening? Yeah. He's going to talk to you through people, through a song that you might hear, or actions that might happen. Yeah. You might pray for patience, and you're running late to work, and you're hitting every red light. Yeah. That's probably God telling you to be patient, Or, he just talks to you in different ways. Just listen.
Yeah. How do you navigate attraction, chemistry, and desire while honoring your spiritual values?
Dude.
God's working on me,
guys. God. He's working on me. You know what?
How do I navigate through it?
I'm not ashamed, actually.
I don't do one night stands. So if you're worth a second date, cool. It's fine. Sometimes we have them. It's cool. I'm not judging nobody, but I don't bark out loud, but sometimes I bark in my head, I can't navigate it.
Ovulating at the gym is crazy. Yo, good luck. No, honestly, I don't date for. I am lying.
You have to be attractive.
You have to be attractive, but look at my track record.
Look at mine. I'm finally talking to a good-looking guy. Like,
honestly, I'll put the attraction aside if like the chemistry and your spiritual values are there. Yeah, put it that way. But then, from my track record, I've done that before, and then later on the line, it's like, oh, that was a facade,
I can't say I date for looks with my track record.
Yeah, I can't say I date for looks, but I do have a type. Love me a buff Chipotle bag. tattoos are, yep,
Period.
right, that's my type. But anyways,
Yes.
and honestly, my type, the ones that I'm attracted to, usually more than likely don't have like those morals, you know.
Yeah,
So I'm
something's
like,
missing.
something's missing.
Yeah.
So it's like get that chemistry and then the spiritual values, you know, and like, you know, the morals.
Yeah.
And like a little bit less attractive.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that
I'm
sense,
for sure a medium ugly dater.
Me.
Like,
so if you ever date your medium ugly,
I got canceled. But I can navigate. I do think I have I'm very mature when it comes to my sexual needs. I'm very mature. I can hold off for sure. So I don't think that I have to navigate too far when it comes to attraction and chemistry, but I will say it has to be there for me to pursue.
Oh yeah.
Continue talking to you. Because like we said, you know, that's how kids are made, whatever. But I do honor my spiritual values of being attracted to men of God.
Yeah. that one. Yeah.
We're bad. I can't.
God's working on us. I promise you, like in the later episodes we'll get better because he's working on us, and it's gonna be working because we're gonna be praying and everything like that. So just have faith in us because I have faith in you, sister.
You might not let go of the bark, but I got faith. I got faith. Have you ever felt judged or misunderstood by the faith community because of how or who you date?
Honestly, I come from a very loving church, a very understanding church. So I really never felt like judged or anything like that. I feel like when it come across like other religions, I have been like when I've hung around friends, because I'm friends with everybody, you know, and I love everybody. I love all religions. I think they're so cool, you know, and I accept everyone for who they are. But I feel like going with other religions, I don't get the same back, you know? Yeah. So I feel like I tend to be judged when it comes to like my friends of other religions or people I come across.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, because I was dating a guy and, you know, he came from a specific religion and he knew walking into it, I'm just not someone you bring home in his culture and his religion.
Yeah.
And I did feel kind of judged and misunderstood, where I questioned myself. I kind of looked in the mirror and was like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, I think I'm a good person. You know, just because I come from a Christianity background doesn't mean I can't keep your son happy.
Yeah.
You know, so I also, growing up, I came from a church where I didn't really follow the rules. And I don't follow the rules anywhere, to be honest. If they don't make sense to me, they won't roll in my book.
Yeah.
And so not dating in my church was such a problem. And I would try hella hard, and I'd be like, okay, come to Bible study with me, come to this event, like the super casual events where it was like, at least I'm trying. But it was just, I always felt judged for that. Now, my parents, and I feel like now that I have a different relationship with God, there is a lot less judgment. My parents have grown to understand this generation, and I know that God knows my heart. I know that he knows I'm looking for a man of God. And so I think I'm less judged now. So that's how I feel.
I love that.
But how has your relationship with God shaped your view of timing and waiting?
Just have to trust him. Put your trust into him. You can't. Only worrying about the future is going to give you anxiety, and worrying about the past. Like, you can't add more regret to change the past. Oh my goodness. Sorry, that was my alarm. Don't know why I have one at this time.
It's 2:25.
Don't ask me. Maybe I took a nap one day, Miss Girl. I probably did. Anyways, I feel like my relationship with God shaped my timing and trust, just to trust him.
Yeah.
You know, like I always was like, oh, when is my man coming? When am I going to date?
Yeah.
When is he going to ask me out? If God wants that for me, it's going to happen. Yeah. And it's not going to be hard. I'm not going to be begging this man to court me, to ask me out, to text me back, or anything like that. I'm not gonna have to chase this man.
Nope.
Because my relationship with God and like learning about it, like I know God created man and woman, and the woman to be his missing rib.
Yeah.
So that man's gonna find his missing rib.
1,000%.
And if that man's not trying to find me, then he's not for me. And God has somebody for me. It may not be now because I'm not ready in life yet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not where I'm supposed to be in my career or life or in my faith, or for that perfect man that God has for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting right now, and who knows, he might follow this guy, or if we go to dinner right now, he might be there.
He might be in the restaurant.
He might be at the restaurant.
It's funny that this question comes up because today's lesson at church was about patience, and what stood out to me was when they were like, God's timing is perfect timing. Yep. And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, like you've said before, right? And sometimes we're not given what we want because we aren't, like you said, not the people we're supposed to be to receive it yet, right? And so I've always been a firm believer in God's timing, divine timing. Mm-hmm. I've always been someone who wanted it in perfect time. Like, at this age, girl, I wanted to be a mother of two, married. Like, it's not, that's not my story.
I feel too like I'm not a wife yet. I'm gonna like Period. I don't have all the wifely. Period. I'm not a Proverbs woman yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like once I'm to that, that level, then my man's gonna come, and I'm working on myself. I am, 1,000%. But I feel like I'm genuinely not ready to be a wife.
That was my problem for a long time.
And like I might say like, oh, I want to get married because I do want to get married. I want to have kids, but I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet. So I have to pour into my cup and into my future to make myself a great mother and a great future wife. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's why my man's not here, because God knows. He's like, you need to go through some trials and tribulations so I can mold you into that wife you're going to be.
1,000%. I struggled with that for a long time, where I've preached up and down. I want to be a wife. I want to be a mother. And I finally looked in the mirror and realized I'm not there yet, right? Yeah. There's someone I've known for 2 years where I've had this baby crush on them. And I knew if I were to break that like kind of space, that it would be, I'd have to step up to the plate. Yeah. And that's when I realized, I was like, I should not bother you yet. Yeah. Because what if you are my husband? What if that's why my heartstring is tugged by you, but I'm not her yet, And
that's very mature of you. Yeah. Because a lot of people like will know that they're not ready and they'll still do it. And then they'll end up hurting that person and regretting it in the long run,
Because it's, in a sense, that person scared me. Because not in a way of like abuse or nothing, just I would have to be 10 times the woman I am to approach you. Because everything that comes after that it's an avalanche. It's just, okay, now we're seriously dating. Now we're talking about marriage. Now we're talking about kids. And was I that woman yet? Yeah. And so now that I feel like I'm at the point of my life where that is my missing puzzle piece, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did bother him. Oh. I was like, you know what?
She's ready.
Yeah, I was like, let me step up to the plate, because at the end of the day,
you do. Yeah, you're gonna have to step up to the plate. Yeah. So I feel like as long as you're aware and you know the steps that you do need to take, then that's okay.
I agree.
Because no one's gonna, when you first start talking to somebody, nobody's gonna be ready right away to get married.
And at the same time, dating, that's the whole point of dating. Yeah. You learn each other. Even though you guys are made for each other by God, doesn't mean the things that you've been through prior to that aren't things you need to learn about each other. Yeah. Because that's your journey that has created the person you are. And does that person mesh with me? So.
And no one's like, no two people are exactly alike in a relationship. No, you have.
I don't want somebody like me.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be. Yeah, I feel like if someone's exactly like you, it's gonna be so boring. No. Well, actually, I don't know, because
it's too much.
My with my ADHD, it's gonna be way too much. I'm gonna be overstimulated AF.
I did date like the center of attention, the party animal, and I was shook. I was like,
he on the table too? There's
Yes.
not enough room on the table for the both of us.
1,000%.
Damn.
Literally, I'm like, there's no way. So I do need someone who lives in harmony with me.
Mm-hmm. What are some lies or myths about dating and faith that you had to unlearn?
Are there even myths that I don't believe in? I'm not gonna lie to you. I believe in divorce. And I don't want it to happen on my watch, but
Oh yeah, I do too.
People get married way too early sometimes. And if genuinely it is not clicking, I don't believe you should see it through sometimes. It's situational though. Like if that man is beating you every day and that's your husband, leave. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, just because you believe in God and you go to this church and you're a woman of faith, you can't leave. Like no,
if you're not happy, leave.
Yeah.
If you're 65 years old and you're unhappy, leave.
Yeah, you're never too late.
Yeah,
it's never too late to start over.
It's never, ever. Mine would have to be kids before marriage. I feel like it's okay to have kids before marriage. 100%. You know, marriage is honestly just like, I feel like a legal thing. You know? As long as that love is there, the household's there, you know, like everything is there, that environment for the child is there, you're able to support the child emotionally, mentally, financially, obviously physically, then I feel like it's okay to have children before marriage. My sister, love her so much. I look up to my older sister. She had kids before marriage. Yeah. And like they're practically married. They're not married yet. They have a house and everything together. 2 kids, beautiful kids. My brother-in-law, I call my brother-in-law, even though technically he's not my brother-in-law. Not on paper. Yeah, not on paper, but he's my brother-in-law. And he did such an amazing job of raising my nephews. Like, so they're a prime example that kids before marriage
is fine.
It's fine. But kids 6 months into a relationship,
that's wildin'.
Yeah, because then you're gonna have 5 different baby daddies or 5 different baby mamas. Yeah, but
I have a question then. Do you believe? Okay, as a woman of God, right? Do you want to get married in a church?
Yeah, I want to get married in a church. I do. I want to get married. I do want to get married in a church. I do.
Like getting married in front of God and everything.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be so beautiful to have. So actually, I did go through couples Bible study. Yeah. And then Relationship Goals by Pastor Mike Todd. I actually read that book and watched. I read books, okay. But I read that book, even though I read it when I was single, that book, Relationship Goals. And then I actually watched the series on it. So yes, I do want to have a marriage rooted with God, and I do want to be married in a church. What about you?
I'm not against it, right? But I don't think that it's mandatory. Because a part of me, I'm not gonna lie, a part of me wants to get married. A little part of me wants to get married in the middle of the forest. Like I like that aesthetic. But then also part of me does want to get married at sunset. Yeah. And how are you gonna know it's sunset when you're in a church? But then a part of me, yes, a huge part of me wants to get married in front of God too. Yeah. But then there's also couples who are still of faith and get married at the courthouse. Yeah. So, I mean, that's like a standard in certain churches that you have to follow. Yeah. So I do think it's a case-by-case basis.
I do too.
But how do you stay grounded in your identity and worth while navigating dating disappointments?
Again, I just talk to God, and then it's crazy. I feel like God always speaks to me, because then I'll see, because I follow a lot of faith accounts. Yeah, same. And I'll be like a post talking about like how just like pretty much of what I was going through.
Right.
Like,
You'll read the right post at the right time.
The right post at the right time. Let's say if like I got ghosted. And then it would talk about like being ghosted and things like that. I'm like, God, you're speaking to me. But honestly, again, God, my husband wouldn't do that. You're going to disappoint me in that way. I know my husband wouldn't do that to me, you know? So that's how I navigate myself. What about you?
I guess just kind of the same thing. I literally will look at a situation and be like, God is either, okay, I live by this. It's either a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Ooh.
So if you weren't meant for me, cool.
Mhm.
That's a lesson learned.
Oh, yeah.
And it is what it is, right? And God put you in my path to learn certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie to you. This last time, the situation that went on, I knew going into it. And I just admitted this to my guy best friend. I said, walking into this, I had a gut feeling that this was going to be the one that taught me how to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I told you at dinner last time, if you were to ask me then if I still had feelings, yeah, I did. But I was strong enough to walk away. And I know that was my lesson. That was my reason, right? If someone's there for the season or the lifetime, you will know. And God, that keeps me grounded. There's always a purpose.
They're just another chapter in our book.
Yeah.
And what did I learn in that chapter? Well, I always say the same thing too. And I don't regret any relationship
At all.
I've been in.
Nope.
None.
I don't.
The ones that cheat on me, abuse me, none of that. I don't regret it because it helped mold me into the woman I am today and give me the knowledge of things today that I can give to the women around me or the people around me.
No,
so I'm very grateful.
I agree. Like there was my super toxic relationship when I walked out, everyone found out what was really happening.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, don't you regret staying that long? Don't you this? Don't you that? And I would always tell them, isn't it funny how you now know what I've been through and I'm still as soft as I am.
Yeah.
Without him, I wouldn't be the woman I am.
Mm-hmm.
So whether or not he'd beat my ass, whether or not he'd cuss me out, whether or not, whatever, so be it, it has made me even stronger.
Exactly.
So do I regret it? No, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't have learned that lesson. If it wasn't through him, I was going to learn it some other way.
Exactly. Maybe a harder way. Or maybe you would have suffered even more.
Exactly. And so God knew what he was doing. And I think that just keeps me grounded, knowing that I am God's daughter and he's never going to place me in the wrong situation. And that's just how I stay grounded.
What's something you're believing for in love? And what's something you've surrendered?
I've surrendered timing. I've surrendered it. I genuinely wanted to be married by now.
Oh, yeah.
And if I were to marry any of my exes, I would be screwed. So I surrendered it. And I was like, you know what? God is brewing. Like,
I feel like I surrendered that as well. Mm-hmm. And also like the fairy tale ending. I was such a I'm still a lover girl, but I was such a delusional, emphasis on delusional lover girl. Like, oh my God, we're going to get married. He's going to be my parents, da-da-da-da-da. But I feel like that too because I've always fell for the love bombers. Yeah. You know? So it fed into my delusions.
Yeah.
But I give that up.
Good for
you. I feel like that's something I surrendered. Like,
what's something that you're believing in for love? I do still believe in courtship.
Oh, yeah. Courtship. Definitely.
I still believe that men should ask. I still am blessed to say both of my parents are still alive. Mm-hmm. You are going to ask them for permission.
Oh, yeah.
That is something I will never let go of. Mm-hmm. That is something I believe in. And it's something I'm striving for. So if I look at someone and I'm like, dear Lord, if I ever brought you home, you're not my husband.
I've done that before. My dad was like, why would you bring him home with those chains and those Gucci shoes? But I was so bad.
I believe it.
I've done that. And I thought about it. I was like, this man was not trying to court me or anything. And I was like, you gonna meet my dad?
Yeah. If you're lusting over me, you are not meeting my parents. Especially now that my parents are a little further and it takes the effort. Like, no, ain't no way I'm driving 5 hours.
I won't
with
date
you in
anybody unless like they're courting me.
Yeah.
And yeah.
If you could sit with your younger self before she started dating, what would you tell her? When did you start dating?
When did I start dating?
When was your first boyfriend?
When I was 18.
Oh, you were older.
Yeah, I was the old one. Yeah, because honestly, I wasn't the cutest.
Shut up.
Well, I grew up ugly. Okay, actually, everyone's beautiful and wonderfully made in the image of God. You know, but I was ugly. Like they called me Beaver. I picked out Harry Potter glasses, frizzy hair, all that stuff. And then even like I was learning how to do my makeup. So I had like Sharpie eyebrow. Like, you know, like it was all bad. And then I joined the cheer team, and like I never like obviously like there's boys that would flirt with you.
Yeah.
But the one guy that did court me, he like yeah, as a young man, he courted me.
Wow.
His cousin went to my high school. He wasn't even from my school. He played football. I did cheerleading. And like, yeah, he tried so hard. You know how hard it is to date somebody from another school?
When you're in high school? Yeah.
Yeah, but he made it happen. Like
Oh,
we
I
would go
love
on dates
that.
and do things like that. So that was my first love, my first boyfriend.
So what would you tell your younger self before that? What advice would you give her?
I would tell her know your worth.
Yeah.
Tell her that you're beautiful, you know, that these men don't determine your worth. Because I felt like growing up ugly and like in high school, I did spend time, like a lot of that time, seeking validation from other people because
Same.
I just grew up being made fun of. Even my sisters would make fun of me, you know,
Same.
call me fat, do like all kinds of stuff, like
Yeah.
all the names in the book. So I grew up like, ooh, is this person gonna accept me? Let me do my makeup this way. Let me do it that way. Oh, this boy is teasing me. Da 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 da. But like in reality, like I just didn't respect myself or
Yeah.
like love myself. So love yourself, sis. Yeah.
1000%. I started dating my first boyfriend was freshman year through senior year.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I've had those fake boyfriends in like middle school and high school, you know, whatever. I grew up boy crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've always been the one that everyone was like, oh, did
I was
you
a
talk
tomboy.
to Ava? So was
I wanted to play with them.
And I think that was the problem. Was I was always on the blacktop and I was always hooping, and so a lot of the girls.
Oh my God.
I swear, we would play kickball and everything, and all the girls were always thinking I wanted their man. But I didn't want your man. I just wanted to play basketball.
Yeah,
like,
I want to play handball. My shit was tetherball.
Yes, I was queen of the court. But if I could talk to my younger self before dating, I would tell her the same thing. Validate yourself before you look for validation.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you are made in God's image, and someone's going to like you for you. You don't have to be the perfect girl all the time.
Yeah.
So that's literally what I would tell my younger self, because I feel like the same way I would try to impress my partner, and it kind of bit me in the ass, because now I look at my relationships and I don't want to be the trophy girlfriend anymore. I don't want to be the one that the guys bring around and they're like, yeah, that's my girl. Like, yes, of course, brag about me, right? But are you just trying to bag me to be like, I got the baddie? You know what I'm saying?
I don't be the trophy wife.
I want to be the stay-at-home wife, everybody. But I think a lot of it is lust, like we were talking about. And I feel like people try to bag me to stroke their ego.
Oh, like I got her. Bye.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I could feel that. I feel like I've had that done to me before, but I do want to be a trophy wife, but in the sense of coming out of love.
Yeah.
Like,
not lust.
This is the mother of my children. You
right.
know?
Like this is my wife.
Yeah.
Walk around, talk about my wife could do that better. Like, I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I don't
Absolutely.
I don't want to be the one that's just like, yeah, this person got the pretty girlfriend. Like, okay, that's great. What else does she do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So what does dating with faith look like to you today?
Dating with faith.
I'm not gonna lie. Church dates are a thing.
They are. Oh, I feel like that's what I miss about being in a relationship, is like the church dates, like just growing your faith together, filling your cup together. And like, there's no other different feeling than like that happiness and that love that you get like after those sermons. Like you leave feeling filled.
Yeah.
And sometimes it might be like emotional sermon too. And like, I feel like that just helps you grow deeper with each other.
Especially
like,
if you're going through something together and it hits the point.
And I feel like a lot of times men tend to put on a mask and don't really talk about their emotions or anything like that. But so when they go to church, they're able to like be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
you
like,
can't dismiss the Holy Spirit when it hits like, you.
Even if they're standing next to you and they're not speaking to you, you can feel their energy and their spirit, you know, like, my man's going through something. Yeah. I'm happy to, even though he might not tell me, he's telling God. He might not be saying it out loud, but I could feel it. And he's surrendering himself during that. So I feel like having faith in the relationship is very important.
It is. What encouragement would you give to women trying to honor God while hoping for love?
Be patient with yourself. But be patient, but don't be dumb. That's all I gotta say. That's how I gotta put it. Don't be patient, don't be dumb, because girls will put up with a lot of stuff. Me too. Like, I'll put up with a lot of stuff and be like, I'm being patient. No, I'm being dumb.
That was me.
You know, God would not put that man in my life to put me through all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if he was actually for me. Be patient. Just be patient, but don't be dumb. Okay, I'm gonna be patient, but you need to go away. Go away while I'm patient. You know, don't. You know, but if you let him in, then you're dumb and you're being patient. You know. But
I get it.
What about you?
I would tell them that walk through dating like knowing you're his missing rib. Stop chasing these men.
Yeah.
Stop. I get it. I was gonna say it. I get it. The men want to be princesses right now.
Yeah.
But that is not your job. You are not Adam, babe.
Yeah. You're not Adam.
Like, learn to be in your soft girl.
Exactly.
Learn to be in your feminine, because that's how you'll be.
And you attract how you act, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're going to be chasing these men and you're acting masculine, you're going to pick up a feminine man.
For real.
You know? But if you're soft and, you know, you want to be courted and you have these standards, then men are going to... Masculine men, you know, men that want to court they're gonna step up and chase you.
Yeah.
They're gonna see you have the standards. And if those standards are too high for them, perfect. You made more room for the next person, or you're saving time for the next person.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, ever since I started being more feminine and more soft, men want to provide more than you think.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they look at you. Mind you, I do a lot of things. We've learned this. I can handle my own.
Yeah.
But I can finally feel like I can go home, and I'm at the point of dating where I want to go home and be like, drop, like that TikTok or that reel where the girl just drops all her bags and she jumps on her man. Like, this is your job, you know? Like, you're supposed to be the strong one. Yes, it works in harmony, and when you were at like 20, I'll be at 80. But when you're more in your soft girl, you naturally attract men who want to protect and provide.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
That's what I would tell girls. Sit in your soft girl. The right man will come.
Okay. So, your humble and honest take. What's one humble and honest truth you'd leave with our listeners right now?
God first, all follows.
Yep. Put God in everything. And yes, practice what you preach. We're not perfect. We're not, but we're learning. Yeah. And we hope you guys learn with us too. Yeah. So put God first. And I know we've all been through things, so don't regret any of the relationships you've been in. Yeah. Learn from them. Yeah.
Also, like, I feel like there's a reason of that waiting season. Yeah. There's a reason God's making you wait. Yeah. Don't rush it. Learn. Don't try to force anything. Mm-hmm. There is a reason. You're either not the woman or the man that you're meant to be yet to achieve what you need.
Pour into your cup.
Yeah.
And just grow and work on yourself, work on your faith, work on your heart, you know, your morals, everything like that. Make sure the people around you are good too. But just, it's okay to wait. It's okay to be patient. It's going to come. God's never going to do anything against you. God is for us.
Yeah. 1,000%. Yeah. All right, y'all. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you later.